All right, hey, welcome back to Tuska Geeks. We got a fun-filled episode for you. As usual, this is what we do here on the channel. We collect comics and toys. We're lifelong collectors. I'm John Michael, and I'm here with my partner.
Hey man, what's up, fam? This Will Call with you. I'm letting John run the show. Go ahead.
Everything's good.
Yeah. Do you think, brother?
All right. Hey, been to a number of shops, of course, in between recordings. Picked up some goodies. I think what we're going to do today, I have a number of figures, but we're going to focus on CGC CBCS Amazing Spider-Man graded books. Not all of them will be high, and not all of them will be low.
All right.
So we'll get started with that after we hear from Will Call. He's been viewing some things between the last show and today.
Yeah. So for the month of September, things that in fact they already started. We've got She-Hulk. I'm already caught up with all the She-Hulk, and I think this past episode of She-Hulk was the best. They keep getting weekly, every week they keep getting better. Very different, quirky show, but it's done very well. The comedy is there, but yet it's not corny comedy or overdone comedy. It's not overcooked. So I think you guys will like She-Hulk, and especially this latest episode. The other thing that came out this week was Andor, that season 1 of Andor. It was 3 episodes for Star Wars Andor. And of course, we already know what happens to Andor because we saw what happened from even the first episode of Star Wars, or not first episode of Star Wars, but Star Wars 4, A New Hope, when the Death Star blew up Andor. So we know what happens to it, but this is the precursor story to the blowing up of Andor by the Death Star and the Empire. And so it's very, very good. And it's also the precursor to Rogue One, which a lot of people, if you've seen and taken the time of Rogue One, it was very good. And so this is the story. This is the main story of the male figure from the Rogue One storyline. And then after that, we got Rings of Power, which is, again, if we talked about it before, from the Lord of the Rings trilogy. But this is from, I believe, the story from the Fellowship of the Rings. It's done so very well. It's on Amazon Prime. Please take time to watch it. I think that was episode 5 that just came out this past Friday that you will enjoy as well. And then you got on HBO Max, House of the Dragons, which is a spinoff from Game of Thrones. And episode 5 of it just came out. So both of them are fantasy based, and both of them are very good. I think if you're into the fantasy stuff, you will really enjoy that. And then this booger that won't come off our fingers, and I use it kind of funny, but the Superman Warworld story. So going back, I was watching Young Justice this morning. Season 2, episode 15 of Young Justice on HBO Max was with Young Justice's introduction to Warworld and fighting Mongul. And again, season 2, episode 15. Sadly, they crop dusted him, Mongul. It was. I didn't know if they were going to really detract from the main story in order to do Mongul or not, but we know he'll be back in some other form or whatever time or whatever. So, and I believe what I was listening to some friends yesterday, there's one more season of Young Justice, season 6. They're going to do one more season of Young Justice. So I got a long way to go to catch up with that since I'm in season 2. And finally, things watched are Star Trek Strange New Worlds. I finally finished the full season of it, all 10 episodes. And of course, that's the story of Christopher Pike, the captain of the Enterprise before Kirk. And that whole show was done. All 10 episodes are fantastic. But that episode 10, the finale of the season, you're going to love it. So well done. The story really puts an understanding of how, from the first Star Trek with Kirk, when we were introduced to Christopher Pike, it helps us understand even more the Christopher Pike that we see in the deformed version of Christopher Pike. That episode 10, it really helps you understand it. But you will truly enjoy that story. I know I did, and I've seen some other folks and friends of mine across the country who said the same thing. So hope you enjoyed as much as I did. That's all I got, man, for now.
Hey, thank you for that update. You're more up on those things than I, even though I'm a lifelong Star Wars person. I don't know how many people can say I saw Star Wars in the theater as a kid
Yep.
when it first came out. I don't know how many
Yes.
people can say that. I was blown away because they had to make the technology to make the movie. They didn't have the fancy cameras, sets, anything like that. So they had to build all the sets. I've seen the on the History Channel, I believe, the backdrop to that. There was one story I saw. I don't even remember the channel, but it was probably about 10 years ago. They showed all the sets. They showed where they filmed, the different countries. They showed different collectors who had gotten some of the pieces from those sets. Back then, I believe some
Wow.
people looked at the leftover relics as junk, but not this one collector. I mean, he had some one-of-a-kind pieces left over from those 1970s and the early 1980s set. Because I
Yeah.
believe he worked on the set, but you're more up on that than I. I love Star Wars. I just have to do a lot of catching up. And I know
Yeah.
you were speaking on Star Trek also. I'm probably back on Deep Space Nine, dealing, uh, dealing with the Borgs, still watching the Borgs. You're ahead of me. That's probably how far back I am. Anyway, um, yeah, we'll look at some CGC books, CBCS books as well.
All right.
And then a few pieces of plastic. Look at a few pieces of plastic and how Todd McFarlane, what he has done with those pieces of plastic. Let's get it started here. I'll go into this box here.
Let's get it
I'll
started.
try to move through them quickly.
Let's get it started in here. Let's get
All
it
right.
started.
Okay, so let's see. They may be somewhat in order. They may be in order.
Okay.
Okay, first book we'll pull out, and these books were purchased from random sources. All right, and this is Amazing Spider-Man 33. Oh, this is a classic cover. Amazing Spider-Man 33. It's at a 4.5.
Oh, nice. And I remember the reading that one. That was a good one.
Try to keep that that light off of there.
You probably still want to bring it to your right shoulder.
Yeah.
I mean your left shoulder. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong thing. To your left shoulder. Yeah.
That light. Try to angle that there. Okay.
That's good. Yep.
All right. Okay, that's that. Oh, and this Stan Lee and Steve Ditko story, but that's a Steve Ditko classic Steve Ditko cover. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I love that one. It's a 4.5, a little weathered, but I'll take it.
I wish I had it. Because that
Next one,
story was
I
awesome.
wish I had this one higher. Amazing Spider-Man number 40. This was the origin of the Green Goblin.
Spidey saves a day. End of the Green Goblin. Yeah. Because that was like Ramita.
Amazing Spider-Man 48 at a 5.0.
Yeah, man. That daggone Ramita was killing him.
Got to get that angle right there.
It's clear.
All right. Yeah, by the next episode, I'll have a scanner ready to put them under a scanner so it'll show better. All right. Oh man, this next one, Amazing Spider-Man 61. Now this is the first Gwen Stacy cover and a Kingpin appearance. This is the first Gwen Stacy cover. I got this book for $15 at a used paperback store. $15 I paid for it. It came back. I didn't have it pressed or anything. I was afraid of it being damaged, some from pressing because of the brittle pages. I sent it in as is. I didn't have it pressed. Amazing Spider-Man, it's a 6.5. Can't beat that. I mean, $15.
No.
And that's the first Gwen Stacy cover. I love that yellow classic cover.
And her daddy, Captain Stacy.
Yep, under there. All right.
That's when in the Batman 60s, something fall on you, trapped in something. From the Batman TV show.
Oh,
Same
yeah.
Bat channel.
Yeah, they were always in that predicament. Amazing Spider-Man 66. Mysterio appearance and a Green Goblin cameo. Oh, this is classic cover to me. I love this cover.
Oh, yeah. You good. It's very clear.
All righty. And yeah, you can also put up an image in the final product.
No need to, for real. That's clear.
Yeah, I always loved that Mysterio outfit. I remember watching the 66 Spider-Man with him on there. And as I bring that up, it's gonna make me go back and watch 66 Spider-Man.
Yeah, that cartoon was
Is that
great.
right? 66 or 67
It's
Spider-Man?
66, about 66, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey there, here comes the Spider-Man.
Yeah, here's the next part.
Oh, the follow on for with the Mysterio story? Yeah,
Yeah,
with those arms, yeah.
67, issue 67.
That dang on
4.0.
Romita, man. That Romita was a monster too, boy. He was the perfect follow-up behind Ditko.
Correct.
Oh man.
Yeah, he improved on what was there on the costume and all. But my all-time favorite. He's escaping me. And he lived in Florida.
Oh, Gil Kane?
Yeah, thank you, Gil Kane. Boy, Father Time is getting to that memory. Yeah, Gil Kane, my favorite. Yeah, and then there was another. Oh yeah, and then I think I have trouble like distinguishing the two. It's Gil Kane and then Ross Andrew. I really liked as well.
Oh hell yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Ross Andrew, man. Okay, this is I can't remember where I purchased this one, but this is Amazing Spider-Man 87 in a 5.5. I cannot remember where that came from. I love that cover though. I mean, this is what they used to do back then. That imagery, that shadow in the back. Oh,
Well, not only that,
see,
but what I was going to say was because even from the last cover that you held up was John Romita's his staging, his cover stagings were you couldn't really beat Romita for that, man. Every cover was just a fantastic introduction to what the story is going to be about on the inside.
This is Amazing Spider-Man 88 and a 5.5.
I mean, look at that. Yeah. Ditko, I mean, like I said, Ditko introduced Spider-Man, and I mean, it was mind-blowing, but then when Romita got a hold of it, oh my God.
Yeah, Stanley story, Johnny Romita cover. Yeah, I love Johnny Romita. Yeah, Dr. Octopus appearance. The arms of Dr. Octopus.
Yeah,
and I forget exactly how they became remote controlled or were moving on their own. But that's classic. That's classic 70s stuff, 1970. That's issue 88. Moving forward. Issue 94. It's a little lower, 3.5, but I didn't pay much for these. Issue 94 and the 3.5.
Oh, the Beetle.
I love the Beetle back then too. It was that purple and green. It wasn't so much character, but when you're a kid and you see that purple and green and
that purple and green. Exactly.
Yep.
Just like that Hulk in the back of you, on the back wall of you, that purple and green.
This is Amazing Spider-Man 97. This was the drug story not approved, so the Marvel Comics Code Authority was not on the cover. Green Goblin appearance. This is another classic issue 97. Issue 97 and a 5.5. Another.
The Comics Authority Code. I thought comics. When did the Comics Authority Code come out?
It was removed just for this issue.
Oh, okay.
I want to say it came out in the 60s.
The early 60s.
Somebody will have to do a little fact checking, but no, it's not on there because it wasn't approved, and then Stan Lee said we're going to put out the important story anyway.
Got it.
That's a deep, rich colors on that cover there. Even at a 5.5, the colors are still very nice on it. That was issue 97. I'm gonna take a set. You know what I'm gonna do here, Bill? I'm gonna take a set. it'll be quicker and stack it right there. Okay. Now this one has some, when it was graded, it has some slight color touch. So you'll notice restoration included, small amounts of color touch. This is 104. It's a 7.5 apparent, but it has a purple label. You can tell them about the purple label.
Well, I know they do some touch up on the cover itself on the book.
Yeah, when they find either, and it will have some letters. Let me check the letters. Oh, slight P. So it has a slight P, which means slight professional.
Okay.
And I guess it's a little better than a slight A. The slight A will be for amateur color touch. If you can see that down. So it's a slight professional color touch.
Gotcha.
And I mean, I believe I bought the book like this. Some books you just, you get them even with the slight color touch.
Especially for that book of that age and with that black borderline and things like that. Why wouldn't you? I would. I would make that investment regardless of the purple label or not. And it presents better too.
And then I saw a video from Bryce Comics. He had a much more expensive book. He was explaining the fact that he didn't want the green or the restoration label. And so there was a slight amateur color touch on the book. So what they would do is take out a tiny piece of the book. So when you take out that tiny piece of the book, it would still retain its grade or go up a little higher, because the grading system allows for small pieces to be missing and you get the same grade. But then he would wind up with a blue label. He said, it's all strange to me. You mean to tell me you got a slight color touch on the book? Now you have a piece of the book missing and it gets a blue label and maybe higher. He's like, I'd rather have the piece in there.
Yep.
So he goes, I get it, but that's
I don't agree with it, but I get it. But I don't agree.
So that was issue 104. That was issue 104. Next, issue 105, classic divided Spider Slayer cover. This is Professor Smythe's appearance. And this is a Gil Kane and Frank, if I'm saying it correctly, Frank Giacoa cover. This is Gil Kane. I love Gil Kane also.
Yeah, Gil Kane could tear it up too. But it was what I loved about those guys that they brought in with Romita, Gil Kane, and Ross Andrew, that they were all very similar to Romita style. So it was almost seamless. I mean, they all had their own little particular oomph, but it was very similar.
Next, Death of Gwen Stacy. Green Goblin appearance. Now, this is very iconic.
Yes, sir. The booty on the cover.
Amazing Spider-Man 121 and a 7.5. Now, I even remember how much I paid for this back in the day. I think this was the early 2000s I got this. I didn't have it back from the 70s.
We got ours around the same time.
Yeah, I remember paying $55 for this at a show in Marietta.
Yeah.
It was at a show in Marietta at the Marietta Coliseum or one of their complexes. I paid $55 for it. I didn't have it pressed or anything. Once again, I probably could have had it cleaned, but I did. And there wasn't too much cleaning being done back then either. So 121, Death of Gwen Stacy. I love the Spider-Man pose. It's in a 7.5. Not too bad. Not too shabby.
Spider-Man booty on the cover.
All right. Second appearance of the Punisher. This is a Romita, Jerry Conway story, Romita. Oh, and this is and then Ross Andrew came in here. Ross Andrew art. He looks so close to Romita.
Yeah.
Amazing Spider-Man 135.
Oh, that's a classic cover, man. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's pretty good at the 6.5 again with that black border. But that Ross Andrew, oh.
I think I have another raw copy too.
them eyebrows, man. That was that Ross Andrews, particularly how he did the Punisher with them eyebrows.
Oh yeah. And this is, oh yeah, oh yeah, that's right. This is second appearance of the Punisher.
Mm-hmm.
This is second Punisher.
Yep. I do not have that book. That's one that I want to add to the cover, just to the collection, just because of the iconic cover.
This is Fake Death of Aunt May. I love the cover on this one too. This is a 9.6, but it's the older label. This is a book I sent in myself.
Wow.
And during the inception, at the early inception stages of CGC. I'm just now realizing too. I probably should use the other. Look right there.
Oh, with the line through the thingamajig, that's the to let you know that it's not a newsstand.
Yeah, they were before they started using the like the images that Spider-Man had, or Captain America had, whatever the case. Yeah, they were devising a system to distinguish between newsstand and direct sales. So, so for some of the books before they set that up, I was just reading an article on it. There's an excellent article on the website of Mile High Comics. So yeah, that was to tell that it was
direct market.
Yeah, it was going to direct market. That's early, showing what they were doing early on. That's a 196. 196 volume 1. That's early volume 1. Because the year of that was 1979. Next
Okay,
issue,
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. February 82, issue 225. This is Bob Wysick art, along with Johnny Romita Jr. coming into the fray. Issue Amazing Spider-Man 225, 1982.
Oh yeah, I remember that cover. Very much remember that cover.
And see,
I did not buy it, but I remember the book on the stand.
Yeah, there's the direct sale Spider-Man head right there.
Mm-hmm.
The crazy thing about this, I remember reading this story, but it was so long ago. The Food Killer. If you
junior high school, probably
yeah,
high school, early high school for you, yeah.
It made me laugh. If someone did something out of character or the Food Killer thought was not honorable, he would say, "I have deemed you a fool, and therefore I shall kill you." It was. Let me see the writer again. Yeah, Roger Stern. So Roger Stern wrote that. If he saw something that was out of character or you did something he didn't agree with, he would say, "I have deemed you a fool, and therefore you must perish." Oh, it was hilarious.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it though. I enjoyed every story. Doesn't have to be a blockbuster, but I enjoyed that. All right, moving on next.
That story in today's timeline just doesn't fit well.
Oh yeah. Huh. Origin and first full appearance of Venom. Who doesn't know this book? May of 1988. Origin and first full appearance of Venom. Oh,
yes, that
grade just hurts me.
And mine wasn't much better than that. Mine was 8.5. Mine still hurt too.
I read it.
Well, somebody must have read mine, so because I brought it off the
Amazing Spider-Man 300, first appearance of Venom. It is not a facsimile.
And how many homage covers on that cover? Too many. Yes. I
saw one yesterday. Well, more than one. But yeah, some facsimiles shouldn't be made, but they're making them. Oh my goodness. And then people have gotten away with, oh yeah, that's another thing. Viewers, comic collectors, new people. Yeah, be aware of the facsimiles. You have to know. Let me check.
Hey, John, do me a favor and put that back up again, because I used the wrong word. It shouldn't be called a facsimile, because you have the facsimile, which would be an exact look of that book. But I should say how many homage covers on that. And that's even worse. How many homages have been used for this iconic cover? It's just, now that ranges in the thousands. The facsimile would look just like it.
Right. So yeah, countless homages to it. But that's a testament to Todd McFarlane's art and design. Yeah, it just stands the test of time. But some of them get a little ridiculous. They even had a homage to this cover on a Rick and Morty book. Oh yeah, it was Pickle Rick in this pose on a Rick and Morty comic.
Yep.
Even all the way to Rick and Morty. But yep. But first Venom. First Venom. And this is a Scorpion appearance. David Michelini art. Amazing Spider-Man 3. Amazing Spider-Man 318 Scorpion appearance. August of '89. August of 1989.
I didn't know Michelini did artwork. I knew he wrote, but I didn't know he did the. I didn't know he did art.
I'm sorry. You're correct. It's David Michelini's story. Because but I think he did do some art. But
I mean, some of them do, yeah. But I just didn't know.
I know he was instrumental. I guess I'm thinking about how he helped to create Venom. So
okay.
But this is Todd McFarlane art. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I stand corrected.
It's no problem. I just want to make sure because I know Michelini was a bad boy so far as those stories, man, back in the day. Yeah, I'm a fan more of the writing than the artwork. He's one of my favorite writers. His Spider-Man stories were revolutionary.
Yeah.
And especially in like that time while you were in early high school and I was in junior high, during that time frame of the early 80s, when he took over the writing, those stories were, they were so good.
All right. This is a Venom 1, first Venom in his own title. Spider-Man appearance with this red holographic cover, but everyone has seen this book.
Mm-hmm.
Venom in his first own title.
Lethal Protector.
And a 9.8. Lethal Protector.
Yep. There's a bunch of those out there, but keep going.
Yeah, they do have some error books in this. Well, the gold cover is not an error. They have a gold cover. I don't have a copy. I've seen it in the shop, but I have not sprung for it. And then there's a error of this cover. There's some missing color. I think it makes the cover look somewhat black, but there is an error of this book. So we can put that image up in the final product in the description. So yeah, there is some errors on this book. They're worth quite a bit more. And it has to do with the printing process where they're not quite having the printer run correctly. Technology was different when they first did these. So they have errors. All right, there's that. Next book, moving on to I'll take care of these. And this book used to be quite expensive. It's come down some now. I'm not sure where it's at now. Ultimate Spider-Man 1. This book was all the rage when it came out.
Early 2000s, yes.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and say the date. Yeah. This is October of 2000.
Yep.
Yeah. This is the first Ultimate title.
Yep. Very first.
And when I purchased this book, I was taught a lesson. You know where this came from, Bill? This came from comic company when we used to go there together.
Yep.
And I learned a lesson there. Even the owner had the son run the store, and he was in there running the store. I would ask him, I said, hey, here's another new Spider-Man title. What do you think about it? His response was, oh, it's just another Spider-Man title. They put out so many. Get it if you like it. If you don't like it, don't get it. But I was going to get it. But I was leaning more towards just getting multiple copies. Oh, it's just another Spider-Man book, because I was going to pick up 2 or 3. I didn't. I only got 1. Listening to him, this taught me to use my own mind. But soon after, it was sold out. It became very hot. It became very expensive. I could have sold a couple of those copies back then, but
you wouldn't have. But
even though I wouldn't have, it just taught me to use my own judgment and mind. Even though he was running the store, I had more years experience. Ultimate Spider-Man 1, and the stories turned out to be great.
Yeah,
Great
that was
stories.
that's early Bendis stuff.
Yeah, early Bendis and Mark Bagley covers. The stories were just great. Yeah, it just taught me use your own mind. He was in a comic shop running it, but he didn't love it. He didn't have the passion. Oh, and also, Bill, I'll tell you, the viewers, you'll recall back then at the well, there's a multitude of stories from it. I remember they had a worker in there putting the books out. If you were up front checking out, that worker, he would put out some new comics. He would take them all in his hand, and you would hear him literally, I mean, to collectors he would take those books and slam them into the rack. Wham! I said, Will call, what is that? And the guys back there, I said, he's stocking books. I was like, are you kidding? You would hear him literally, he'd take all the comics, he'd put them in the, those books had to be beat up. The bottoms of the, like some of course, he would literally take them out the box, put them on the rack. Wham! You just hear the reverberation throughout the store. I'm like, are you kidding me? He doesn't want to be here. I know he was angry or something.
Well, you see, comic company didn't last, right?
They were around for a while, but
not too long.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you know what? Customer service. Yeah, it was the customer service. They were just mean to people. Should I tell the second point? I'll tell the second point. When I go to a comic shop, I'm there on a regular basis. You don't have to worry about me leaving you stuff with ordered books.
Right.
I'm there on a regular basis. I may have missed 1 week, or at the most, it's going to be 2 Wednesdays. Yeah, that's irregular. But I'm usually there on the Wednesday. And so you remember Will call, I pull up to the store. I'm in the parking lot. He's at the dumpster, the owner's son, not saying that, he's throwing out trash. He's at the dumpster. I get out my car. His first thing is not, hello, hey, we got your books in here. Glad to see you. His first thing was, oh, hey, haven't seen you in a while, which was a fib. It was a fib.
Right.
His first thing, I get out the car. Oh, I was just getting ready to put all your stuff back. You know what? I should have told him, well, that was horrible. I should have told him, put all those books back. And I remember your words. Your words were, oh, okay, what? That's the first thing you'll say to me? Put all my books back? Well, you go ahead and put those expletive books back. You go ahead and put all those books back. I mean, that's the first thing you're going to say to me? I get out the car. I was just getting ready to put all your books back. Whoa, that's some great customer service there. You're right. It wasn't too long. After that, it was folding. The lights were out. It was dim. Next thing you know, that corner was occupied by a seamstress.
Yes, sir.
I saw fabrics in the window. I was like, what's going on over there? Fabrics in the window, sewing machine. Not a comic book to be seen. Well, customer service. Yeah, if you're doing that kind of stuff, you're gonna tell me I was getting ready to put all your stuff back. Wow, that really made me feel good.
No, you know that I had already left by then.
You sure did. You were already gone. You had it. Let me move a little quicker. Let me get down off the soapbox. All right, Ultimate Spider-Man #2, the car cover. And this was considered, even before there were a lot of variants, this was considered a variant. There were hardly any variants back then. And so people were looking for this car cover.
And you don't find it.
Yep, this was considered a variant. And it's in a 9.8. I didn't realize that. Look at that, car cover, 9.8.
Yeah, you don't see that. I don't have that book. I have #1, but I don't have #2.
Here is the regular cover. Amazing Ultimate Spider-Man 2, 9.2. Something happened to it. I don't know, a crease somewhere, but it came back up, 9.2.
Yeah, I don't have #2, period, variant or regular.
And this book was one of my early send-ins. This is Peter Parker Spider-Man. And this, I want to say this continues from the Todd McFarlane series, when they changed the name, if I'm not mistaken. It used to be just Spider-Man, then they changed it to Peter Parker Spider-Man. They confused me with this because there was Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man, which they turned to Spider-Man, and then the Spider-Man book, which this used to be Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Then they added the Peter Parker without the Spectacular. Oh man,
it got confusing.
But this is issue 44. It was a return of the Green Goblin. You know what? When I was no, hold on. This is August of 2002.
Yep, I was about to say I have that book.
At the time I could not get this book, and I remember my mom. She drove to the store and got it for me. Hi, Mom. Hello. Love you. Hi.
Right, you didn't have, because that was Jenkins and Ramos, right?
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but I couldn't get the book where I was, and I asked her. She drove to the store and got it for me. And as a matter of fact, she got 2 copies. But this is the older label.
Yeah.
And, there's a reflection there.
It's not much of one. It's still very seeable.
Yeah, and it's a 9.6. I just some people send their books in like this to have the label changed to update it. No, I just keep it the old label.
Yeah,
it's just a piece of history.
Yeah, by that time I'd come back into collecting. By that time, that's why I definitely recall that book, and I have it. And I used to love Paul Jenkins as a writer.
And to my point, this is the original. Here's Peter Parker's Spectacular Spider-Man, February of 1977. And to my point, it's an older CGC label, but this is the first series of Peter Parker's Spectacular Spider-Man.
Volume 1. Yes, sir.
Yep. Volume 1, 9.4. You can see that it's the older label because the number is faded. If you see the number is light like that, that's the older label. It's kind of grayish looking, even though it's supposed to be black. But that's
you're talking about when they first went to that label for CGC, because their previous one is the early label.
And then this edge of the book is on the out, and this edge of the book, the label is on the outside of the case.
Mm-hmm.
The much later ones, this grading label is on the inside of the case where it should be.
Right.
This label peeled off over time so easily, and by handling, it would just peel off. Of course, this one is inside the bag, but it's on the outside of the case.
Right.
I'm glad they modernized and put that label on the inside of the case where it belongs. Peter Parker's Spectacular Spider-Man, that was number 3 earlier. 30-cent book. Oh, one thing, 30-cent book. I don't know if a price variant exists for this. I don't know. Also, is a 30-cent book.
Well, it wasn't every title.
No, I know it wasn't every title, so I'm not sure. But some books had a 35-cent test price. I'm not sure if this is one. It may not have been. But there is no line of list of them where they had the test variants, test price for different markets. Yeah. And this is Spectacular. Oh, this is the next one. This is Peter Parker's Spectacular Spider-Man, number 4. And it was just such a big deal at the time when they came out with a new titles didn't come out that often during this time. And so if you saw a low number, a new one, it was really something.
Mm-hmm.
But these books were a little pricey when they first came out.
Yeah, but those stories were good.
Yep.
Because that was the first spinoff really from Amazing Spider-Man.
And this book came out with multiple printings. This is Amazing Spider-Man 583, March 2009. This was a President Barack Obama cover, Mark Waid and Zeb Wells story. And this is the first print. This is the first print of it.
Yeah.
In a 9/8.
Yep, got that one for show.
And in the later printings, they reversed the pose. The image is reversed.
Gotcha.
The hand would be on the other side. It would be on this side of the book.
Tracking.
All right. And then they changed the colors and later, I'm pretty sure it went up to a fifth printing. Amazing Spider-Man 583, 9.8. That cover came about when he was talking during a press conference or some interview. He mentioned that he read Spider-Man comics. And so Marvel got together with him to do, that cover. All right, here is Amazing Spider-Man. Now, this is the next volume, and they don't say the volume on here. And I don't have a legacy numbering. I want to say volume 2, maybe. But this is Amazing Spider-Man 18. They definitely had more than 18 issues at this point. But they started over, which also got a little confusing.
Too many times.
July of 2015.
Yeah, that was when they really were restarting Spider-Man countless times.
Yes.
That was really irritating. Oh, it was so irritating at that time.
I didn't even realize I had this one. I don't know where this one came from. Oh yeah, this is May of 2015. Let me check something really quick. July of 2015. Yeah. Okay, so this is earlier. Yeah. Yeah, from that, I didn't even realize I had this, but from that same run, this is issue 16.1.
Simone Bianchi covers. That's a nice one. Usually don't see Simone on Spider-Man covers too often. Simone, how do you want to pronounce it?
This is Marvel Zombies #1. This is the Spider-Man cover swipe. This is the cover swipe. This is the cover swipe from Spider-Man 1. Which is Todd McFarlane.
The Marvel Zombies. That's the one I have. I have that cover for Marvel Zombies 1.
Yeah, something, I don't know, something happened and it came back 8.5. I haven't read the notes, so I'm not sure what they found. Maybe a small crease. Okay, but I love that cover. Marvel Zombies.
And another Todd McFarlane homage cover.
And all the Marvel Zombie stories were excellent. All right, that's Marvel Zombies 1.
And if you didn't know, you ought to know that was Robert Kirkman, of course, Walking Dead writer, who did the Marvel Zombie stories.
And that, if I'm saying it correctly, that's Arthur Sweetum on the cover.
Yes, sir, Arthur Sweetum. Well known for zombie covers as well.
Let's see.
And Sweetum, when you look for it, it's spelled Suydam, I believe.
Correct. That's correct. All right. So, and then we're at we'll just then I'll just show a few. There was a $2 bin at a shop I went to, Dave's Comics, but I got them for he just said $1.25. So these books were $1.25. Some of them I know, this one is still in the plastic bag, the original plastic bag with a new character trading card inside. Dark Hawk Annual #2. Oh man, this is 1993.
Dark Hawk is coming to us pretty soon in the mass media from MCU, some kind of way or another. He's coming. I think it might be Guardians of the Galaxy. It might be.
Okay. New Warriors, and this New Warriors #40. All these books are in very good shape. New Warriors #40.
Used to love that book, man. So good. The writing was so good.
There's a little bit of foil on that cover too.
Especially with Nova in the foil, the gold in there. It's a gorgeous cover.
New Warriors number 25. This is what year did I say? 1992. New Warriors. New Warriors #25.
Yeah, man. Again, good read, you all. I mean, fam, please do yourself a favor and get those New Warrior books. I don't know when they're ever going to come to the MCU or not, but
right.
Those Night Thrasher, but New Warrior stories, and that's Night Thrasher on the cover. But
New
my
Warriors
God,
18. That's issue 18. What, there's something behind it. New, and this is a minor key. I looked it up. This is a minor key. It was first appearance of, I don't have her name. She's first time wearing, I believe her dad was a torpedo, but this is her donning the torpedo costume. Issue 25.
Old Firestar in the background.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely correct on that. Let's go quickly the rest.
Spider-Man and his amazing friends.
The Maxx number 4.
Number 4.
Flat unread, $1.25 bin, $1.25.
Sam Keith. And Sam Keith was also known for the Sandman books when they first came out too. Sam Keith was the first writer, the first artist on Sandman with Neil Gaiman.
And these are just have been languishing away in their back issue bin. And this is Stormwatch number 2, Jim Lee cover.
What's the significance of that book, or is there?
Well, it's the next one. It's
okay.
gonna.
Well, don't tell me that. They'll save it to the next one then.
All right, it's the next one. I've been putting together a Backlash run. I love Backlash and the Brett Booth art. So this Stormwatch number 3 right here, I found in the let me get that light off of there, in the back issue $1.25 bin. This is the first appearance of Backlash here.
Nice find.
For another one, I didn't see it, and it's very. Let me see. It doesn't have any readers creases in it. It's flat. I wish it had a board, but it didn't have a board with it, but it survived okay. There's no reader crease on the spine, so it's not red. If it was, they were very careful. Teen Titans 78 during the Blackest Night episode.
Who's a writer? Is there a writer on the corner of that Teen Titans on that one?
Yes, Kroll, K-R-U-L.
Okay.
This was Kroll, Bennett, and Jason.
Got you.
I'm trying to see. I can't see what that says on that.
It's good. I just had to see who the. I think it was J.T. Kroll. J.T. Kroll is the writer, if I remember correctly.
Okay. And then now this is Terror, not Teen Titans, but Terror Titans. The tournament begins. Issue 2 of 6. Terror. Titans.
Yeah, with Ravager. Yeah, I remember that book.
The thing that grabbed my attention back in the 70s. I used to love the 7 Soldiers of Victory. So I saw
Star Spangles.
Yeah, I saw Star Spangled Kid back there. And if you remember that classic story, it was in Justice League of America number 100. It started that. It said it was about who lies in this grave, and they had the 7 Soldiers of Victory standing on one side, and they had the Justice League standing on the other. I actually found issue 101, which I never had yesterday. I actually found issue 101.
Justice League of America.
Yeah, Justice League of America 101, which was the other part to that issue 100, which I had never read. Titans number 20. This is all $1.25 bin stuff.
Yeah.
That was Titans number 20. Titans number 16.
Yeah, this is stuff from probably the mid-late probably like mid 2000s. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, it is. This is it's 2009.
Okay.
October 2009. I didn't have them before. Titans 12. Titans issue 12.
Yeah, that was when I began to somewhat fade from collecting at that time, sadly.
And I have a lot more of these. We won't see them all today, but Thunderbolts. There were a lot of Thunderbolts in that bin. I think I just got a lot of them because the stories were so good. That's Thunderbolts. Issue 119.
Sad. I didn't collect a lot of Thunderbolts in its heyday. I did not.
The stories were excellent. And I don't, and we can put it up at the during the final production of it, but the Thunderbolt's first appearance, I want to say it's Incredible Hulk 347. I could be wrong.
Something like that,
believe-
but yeah.
I believe Incredible Hulk 347, and it's got the Hulk on there holding someone up. So that would be their first appearance. Now these two books, these next two books are going to be a little later. This is some later stuff, and then I'll.
And then it makes sense for that to be in Incredible Hulk, because if you got for historical reference, the Hulk and General Thunderbolt Ross were always battling from the very beginning. And so the Thunderbolts was, of course, Thunderbolt Ross's team to fight the Hulk and anything else. And of course, it was a spinoff from the Suicide Squad. So villains that Thunderbolt Ross recruited to do his bidding. But go ahead.
All righty. Man, this book was in the back issue bin. There were a lot of books with no bags or boards. I don't know how this book, well, it has a slight ding on it. I don't know how this would survive like this, but I love ROM. This is ROM number 6. I got to get it in a bag and board. ROM number 6.
Yeah, that IDW run on ROM, those covers were amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know this. I think I read maybe 1 or 2 books from that run, in which the stories were pretty good, but those covers, my God.
Yeah. And then there was a slipcase edition of it. I got the slipcase edition for those ROM stories. It was slipcase edition for the number 1 in the variants.
Okay.
I found this. I tried to get all these Clone Stories, Scarlet Spider books. And this was just Spider-Man number 62. Exile part 3 or 4. I didn't have this one before. I didn't have this one.
Scarlet.
I'll get them all sorted. I'll get them in there.
Oh,
that was sitting in there. Another book sitting in there. I saw the Spider-Man on there. I had to grab it. Morbius, the Living Vampire number 3 versus Spider-Man.
Oh, that's a nice cover. Nice find. Yeah, that's early 90s right there, all day.
And then, here's that book I was talking about. I had a copy of this, the now defunct Wizard magazine. This is when they were still going strong. This is the 100 most collectible comics. It's still in the original shipping plastic bag. I don't know how this is in that back issue bin. This is, and the card is still in it. And this is a very nice copy. The bag has borne the brunt of the flipping, and I guess people bypassed it, but this is one you should have. This talks about, of course, it may not be 100% relevant, but the books in here are.
Yes.
It's the 100 most collectible comics. It's a Wizard edition.
Yeah.
And the card, where, no, am I on the wrong side there? Right here. Wait, where's there it is. The card is still in the bag. The card is still in there, the collector card. So this is the original bag. Look at that. This is how it's in the bin.
Look like somebody took a bite out of crime.
Look, something went through, but it's still, somebody was hanging it up at one time. I'm sure. And it's just, but this is the original bag. It's borne the brunt of it, of the damage and saved
of time. Yeah.
Because let me see the year. I don't see the year. We can.
Oh, I can't remember. I have to look that one up myself.
1993. This is 1993.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't collecting.
I needed another flat copy like this. Man, look at this. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even know about Wizard magazine at that time.
Let me get these. Oh, there's something down here. I did not. Here's something down here I didn't see. Let me. Thunderbolts 117.
Those are those Matina cards, I believe.
I didn't realize that.
I think it was Matina.
Are they Matina? Oh, wow.
I think if I'm wrong, please, I have to look it up, but I want to say it was Matina.
Okay, Thunderbolts.
Could be wrong.
Thunderbolts 122 with Venom in the background. Thunderbolts issue 122. Got that Venom in the background. Thunderbolts 120. Thunderbolts 120.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to look it up to say if I'm right or not, but I want to say those are early Matina.
Thunderbolts 123. Oh, every time I see this one, for some reason I grab it. Thunderbolts 123. All right, Thunderbolts 124.
Yeah, I like that one too.
Thunderbolts 125. Venom and Bullseye on the cover.
Yeah, that's a gorgeous one. And Punisher, right?
Yes, and the Punisher. Yes. All right. Oh, and now this these will be the speaking of Thunderbolt Ross and the Hulk. This is another one found in there. I actually found it last, and when I was buying all my books, Dave of Dave's Comics, he just threw he just said he said no charge. He just threw it in there. I had gotten a fair amount, but so
Yeah.
that's a variant edition. I always loved that cover there. Hulk 11. And Dexter Vines was the inker. Jeff Leb writer, Ed McGuinness art. But Dexter Vines, I have a number of books signed by him. I've met and spoken with him at several shows.
Yeah, Dexter good people.
Moving into the Superman foray, nearing the end here. Jim Lee cover here, Superman 208.
Yep. Brian Azzarello. I remember those.
Yep. Superman 205.
Yeah, that's a classic cover. It's not used enough or homaged enough, but I'm not mad about it. But that is a classic.
Yep, yes it is. That's Jim Lee also.
In all his glory, right there.
Oh, yeah,
That's one of my favorite covers right there.
And this one, if I'm not mistaken, they've kind of made it. Well, this is an homage to Action One. It has a little bit of value to it.
With the Majestic. Yeah.
Now I'm going to be honest. I don't know enough about him and his origins. I'm going to have to read that. I have them.
That's an Alan Moore creation from Image Comics.
Yeah, I guess Mr. Majestic is. Yeah, I got to do a little research on him.
I got some stuff in the basement. I got an early trade paperback from Mr. Majestic when they first did trade paperbacks on him, and I might have a few books downstairs, but I know it's an Alan Moore creation.
Wow. Okay. Oh, and this is Superman number 114. This is from August of '96. Somehow I missed this cover originally, but this cover here, Bill, I had never seen this book before.
I don't have it, and I've never seen it.
That it was in the back issue bin, $1.25. I'm searching. I had never. This one got by me,
and it got by me too. That's probably when the time I'm collecting, and I thought I had everything. For that time.
96, I was not buying.
Oh, 96, you said?
Yeah,
that's why. Because I wasn't in it. No.
Yeah. Yeah. That's beautiful there. Superman 114. Yeah, that. Ooh.
Yeah, I would not have it, and that's in good shape.
Yeah. Oh, it's in some. It has a slight roll on it, but nothing too significant. Yeah, it's been in this bag all that time. Yeah, it's in very good shape. Wow. Okay. Then this is part of, because I set up a list of the Superman red and blue. I know a lot of people didn't care for that when Superman split into two energy beings, red and blue. But although you don't see it on the cover, this for the Superman title, this was the beginning of it. This was one of the beginnings of Superman red and blue. So I found a lot of them there. I'm not going to show them all, but I may be approaching a complete set of them, of the Superman red and blue. And then so that people see, here's the last one of this is Superman 125, and there's Superman blue on the cover. And you could tell because they changed the label. They put that kind of electrified different label there on the Superman books when they had Superman red and blue. So I'm putting all
Yes,
those
sir.
together. A lot of people weren't pleased, but I think it's different. I like it. And we'll just about wrap it up. I'm gonna wrap it up here. A new release of Pokemon came out. I know this is a going into a whole different vein.
Mhm.
Pokemon Lost Origin was released. Grab yourself a few packs.
Yeah. Yeah, they end up being more valuable over time than you think,
Yeah.
because Pokemon has not gone out of style.
And then Yu-Gi-Oh cards, power, and I see them in the store during Fridays, where the tables are, they're playing. Yu-Gi-Oh! Power of Elements was released. Grab yourself a pack.
Yes, sir.
And during the initial, I'm going to end on this. During the initial release of the Pokemon cards back in '99, which are highly sought after today, and between '99 and 2000, they released a foil set, and I saw them. They are beautiful cards. Very limited release. They are expensive now, but this is a graded one here. This was one from the foil set, 2000 Topps Chrome Pokemon. Some people don't even realize that they came out. But this is a graded card of it. This is a graded one. It's graded a 10. That's from 2000. A Pokemon card. It's all foil. It's a
I love
beautiful
it.
card.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna wrap it up there.
All right. So this past, not well, cool. The previous show, after the previous show, we got some question. I got one of our viewers, Mr. Damien is his name, and he asked some questions of us. And so he was asking, is it possible to do a Comics 101 session in an upcoming post? Cover topics on how to buy comics in bulk. So, John, I'll ask your opinion first. When you're buying comics in bulk, and if and when you do, of course, I know you do, best ways of how to buy comics in bulk.
All right. And you want me to handle that first?
You can take an opine, and I'll tell you how I do it too. But
Buying comics in bulk. If you're just, well, you know what? It's difficult unless the only way really, unless you've established a relationship with a shop or the person. If you're buying in bulk, unless someone has said, I'm selling all these books, and you're answering an ad, or you through word of mouth, you hear someone saying, oh, I'm selling all my books. That's one way to buy in bulk.
flea markets too.
Yeah, flea markets. If you see that they're selling, you see a good price. I mean, they're saying, "Oh, I just want to get rid of this stuff. What can you give me?" That's one way. Searching out garage sales, shops like flea markets, so forth, so on. That's one way. Answering ads. Sometimes people they may not know what they have. They just want to get rid of it. It's just in the house. To them, it's just funny books. Some people. Of course, we live in it, so we know there's a little more to it.
Mhm.
But many people, to them, it's just funny books. They don't live in that world, so they don't look at YouTube on comics or anything. They're not researching it. They're not frequenting comic shops, so they want. So if you find it at, a estate sale, they're just getting rid of it. You may find some gems.
Absolutely, will in an estate
still
sale,
to be
most
had.
likely.
But if you're going into a shop and they're selling stuff, collections, and you've established a relationship, you're more able to get a better deal.
I don't know about that, because if you go to you got to really have a this relationship, in my opinion, with the owner if you're going to buy from a shop.
Yeah, I know. Most of the time, most of the time to buy bulk, they go, no, it's more profitable for me to sell individually. So, but if you have some established relationship, it may work out a little better. Now,
Really good.
The thing that worked out for me was finding a shop that was getting out of it, closing. You see those videos all the time.
I agree with that.
Now, that's probably the best. When you find a shop that's closing, this is not good for me. It's been a hassle. I'm getting out of it, and they're selling stuff in bulk. That's been the best for me.
Yeah. And the other thing, if you're going to go online and go on eBay or some of the other sites, the other thing would be to buy books in lots. if you do a lot, when they go looking for a certain series, Inhumans lot, or Legions of Superheroes lot, or something like that. If you put in the description of your search, whatever the title, and then lot, you can then do, you can buy some books in bulk in that way. Don't expect to find every single, don't expect to find every single whatever title or every single issue in that run. Right. They'll probably cherry pick some of those lots for premium, or what, at least what they think are premium books from that lot. But you can fill, if you're looking to fill the holes, and just grab a bunch of stories together from a single title, then I would encourage you to buy as a lot in your eBay or whatever, because we also use Hip Comics as well, and I'm not sure what others, and I think they might be some of the only ones that might sell as a lot or whatnot, but I don't use whatnot too much. So
yeah,
go ahead.
I've used whatnot a little bit. Because recently for Backlash, nobody's really looking for that character right now. I was in the shop, yesterday, the owner did say, well, so-and-so is, but I'm pretty sure they're looking at Backlash because they heard me talking about it. So that person started looking for Backlash. So, I bought Backlash in lots from eBay.
Right.
And some from Hip Comics. Yeah. So, but eBay was probably the best for me. I think I bought 2 runs. I was able to find every book in the run as well for Backlash.
Right.
Because for a long time, I didn't realize how far it went, the extent. Oh gosh, I can't even remember. Is it 35 issues in the run, something like that? But I was able to get every book by buying it in a lot. And the great thing about that lot that I bought, they had free shipping. It said free shipping. The price.
And sometimes you get lucky. Yep. But a lot of times they won't.
I don't know how they were able to do that because, well, I know how, but the price was already good per book. And then and then it had free shipping. I said, oh, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And then when I got the books, I said, well, they might be a little beat up because of this. Nope. But when I got them, I could see all the packaging, the bags and boards were a little old. The books were just flat, unread. They were in very good shape. They had been wherever they were since the 90s. I could tell they had been sitting pressed together, which aided in them being nice since the 90s.
And flat.
So, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. They were flat. Yeah. So that's how I bought those ones. Yeah, from eBay.
All right. And I'll give you, here's one more question. And this question, in my opinion, is straight. It's a straight objective question. And the question is, what makes a good cover artwork? What makes good cover artwork or a good cover artwork? And in my opinion, that's completely up to you, the selector. So like you see a cover, does it move you? Does the artwork move you? Does it excite you or whatever? Because exactly. There are so many fine examples that we put on the show of what would be considered great artwork. Now, there are of course, certain covers, like we were talking about those, that Spider-Man 300 cover by Todd McFarlane, and that one that John is holding up by Alex Ross. Sometimes it's the artist. But then again, in my opinion, the cover itself, just the artwork itself, if you like it, if it grabs your mojo, then that, in my opinion, makes a great cover. And sometimes in that, you don't know that even if it's a brand new book, if you picked that thing up and it moved you when you picked it up, that it was a great cover in the long run. Exactly. That Zatanna cover that he's showing up for that's a variant of Batman versus Robin #1. I bought 2 copies of that myself this week. That's Zatanna cover, just because I'm a fan of Zatanna. And so I can hold one up here myself. This Black Adam cover here that just came out. I mean, it's in my opinion, it's a great cover. It's by Irvin Rodriguez. It depends on how it moves you as a feeling. And I'm gonna shut the hell up and let John take over and give his opine.
Oh no, you said it. When some books, when you see them, and it depends on what you like. Some books, when you see them, they just hit you. You could, oh man, as a kid, I remember, my mom would pick me up from elementary school, and I was squished in the back of this 240Z, which I later drove, a Nissan 240Z, which many people know it's only a two-seater. It was a 72, and I'm squished in the back. But there's a little window on the side of it. There's a little window on the side in the back. And I'm looking out that window as we're traveling down the street, and we passed by this drugstore. For those of you who remember the Marvel Treasury editions and DC Treasury editions, man, we passed by this drugstore, and there was that large, amazing Spider-Man #1 Treasury edition with the classic pose, and I believe that was Johnny Romita, of Spider-Man crouching down, shooting his web. So it just grabbed my man. As a kid, you see that book in a drugstore window. Oh, I was, Mom, can we stop? No, we're going home. We eventually stopped, but I don't know if it was weeks later. I wanted to stop right then because I saw it and they had these Treasury editions lined up in the drugstore window. That used to happen back in the day. That was the 70s. And so, yeah, it moved me. But you know, and then many covers become iconic. For instance, like this one, because there's a universal agreement. Now, there may be a few people that say, no, I don't like it. But there's some covers like this one, they're just universal. The art, the way it's done. I mean, it's just you. This is not a key book. This book became a key because of the cover.
Thank you.
It just became, there's nothing special happening in it. There's no first appearance. There's no death of a character. It's just,
No one did before.
Yeah, no one did a cover like this before. Spider-Man's head was done with webs. You would think it would have been done before, but it was done out of all webs. Look, his ear is a spider. Oh, that was genius. His ear is the spider coming down the web. That's his ear. So, I mean, it was understood that this was this cover with that black and that white. Oh, shoot.
And then how many second, third, fourth, how many 5 printings that came out after that? They had like the blue cover. No, the red one was next, and the blue, then something else.
Yeah, the red, the blue, and then they did one, I think, for Venom. They just it caught on. Yeah. So you know what makes it. Oh, but then some artists are legendary. They can't do anything bad. Some artists, the work they do, I don't have a Perillo cover in front of me right now, but everything Perillo puts out, I mean, they're painted. Oh man, it's just they are just gorgeous. All of his covers. So, but ultimately, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It's what you like, you know.
And this one here for me, because it's got Darth Bane on the cover, and sometimes it's also the character on the cover.
Yeah.
And the last one I'll hold up, as we've already talked about before, is this facsimile that just came out this week of Action Comics #1, and we've shown you a few copies that cover with Mr. Majestic on the cover, and that John was going through earlier, and some others. But of course, for those who don't know, but this was the first superhero cover, superhero comic book period, unless you want to talk about maybe Doc Savage, but Superman was actually the first sci-fi superhero with powers a little bit beyond normal.
Right, entering the mainstream in 1938. Right. 1938. Yep.
So,
and then also, like, this one caught my attention. I mean, I bought it as a graded book. I didn't send my own in, but I want to say, no, this is not the first. No, this is not the first meeting. Oh yeah, Spider-Man 1 is the first meeting of Miles Morales and Peter Parker. But this cover here, this is Amazing Spider-Man #81. It's legacy number.
When the death of Spider-Man?
was the first meeting, but the first meeting in the Marvel 616 universe.
Got you, tracking.
Yeah,
Yes, I agree with that.
met.
Yes.
Yeah, they met in the Ultimate Spider-Man, but the first meeting in the, you know, when they moved him over to the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
But like this, the colors, the composition of this cover. I mean,
Yep.
it's just, that's a great cover. And it's a doppelganger cover, but it's not a doppelganger cover. All of that going for it, the colors, Miles Morales Spider-Man versus Peter Parker Spider-Man. I mean,
And
that's a
what
great
issue
cover.
is that? What issue is that?
This
41?
It's issue 81,
81.
but
Okay.
but in the legacy numbering, is issue 882. So we know Spider-Man has had more than 81 issues, coming from 1962. But this is issue 889. Yeah. Did I say 889? Or I'm sorry, 882. 882. Yeah, I love that cover. All right. Yeah.
All right. And so I know the show's good and they're getting long, so I'm going to get ready to wrap it up with this last thing on the show. And if you guys, I didn't mention movies that are coming out for October. I hope I didn't talk about it last time, but Black Adam is coming out in October, and so is Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, as well as Tales of the Jedi. I believe Tales of the Jedi is coming out, and that would be an animated series on Disney if they do it. If they release it in October, I'm looking forward to it because that would be some old tales of old Jedi, like I was showing up of Darth Bane on the cover I held up a few minutes ago. But I'm really looking forward to those three shows and movies coming out. And something that they were talking about so far is possibility from the last trailer of Black Adam, a villain. They think the main villain might be from a character called Gog, or Magog, and which is even a biblical name, a character in the Bible, whatever. But so the first appearance of Gog or Magog was in this monster book here series, Kingdom Come, that was done by Mark Waid and Alex Ross.
Oh yeah, I got that. Yep, I remember that.
And this is my second or third copy of this run. This series here is it's so good. It is ridiculously good. And I'll just go through real quick with just number one, number two, number three, and then number four. So I believe if you guys look and find that Black Adam trailer, there's a character that has like horns on the side of his head. I believe that to be Gog or Magog. I could be wrong, but I don't think I'm too far off. And no one's paying attention. I just bought that series again of Kingdom Come within the last week and a half. $20 for the whole run. I believe $20 for the whole. Ain't nobody still paying attention to it. So recommend you not only you get it because it's a doggone good read, and the artwork, Alex Ross is throughout the whole book, and Mark Waid is a phenomenal writer of whom I want to see, and I will get his autograph on this book when I see him at Baltimore Comic-Con at the end of October. So I'm going to get ready to sign off, and I don't know if Brother John has anything else, but please like and subscribe to our show, and send us more comments. And Mr. Damien, we will answer a couple more of your questions on the next show. And I think he sent like 4 questions, so we answered 2 out of the 4. And Brother John, passing over to you.
All righty. Yeah, you said it all. I'll say as I always say, buy what you like, read what you like, so that you become more knowledgeable about the characters, and you'll find the depth in the whatever comic universe you read. You'll find the depth of the characters the interest of the stories. I mean, it can be very complicated, but it's amazing to me. So buy what you like, and along with the art, just buy what moves you. A lot of books, when you see them on the rack, even just by the cover will move you. So pick it up and see if it's for you. But that's about it.
Yep, that's how we've done it.
Enjoy the hobby.
Enjoy the hobby. Yes, if it
John
makes you feel
Michael,
good.
Yeah, John Michael out.
All right, and as George Clinton said, nothing is good unless you play with it. Holla at y'all. Tuskegee out.